Hey everybody, it's Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. Welcome back. Glad to be back. I took that hiatus in January, as I talked about in the February videos. And yeah, now I'm back, ready to do readings again. I'm all spry. This will be for the month of March, and this is going to be the Mercury retrograde still going on, if you couldn't tell. I'm recording this in the last week of February. This will be for March for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of Cancer placements in your chart, even if you have your North Node in Cancer, wherever it is heaviest or most prominent or most influential in your chart. If you're watching this as a cross-watcher for somebody else, keep in mind, this is a general reading. Take what resonates. If it fits, it fits. But if you're just making assumptions and trying to make it fit, I recommend you don't. You can always check out your Moon, Rising, Venus, or whatever other heavy placements you have in yours or their chart if it doesn't seem to resonate. And if none of it resonates, then you can just check out another reader. Either way, happy to have you here. Let's see. We do have a full moon happening on March 9th, so be prepared for that. It should be fine. I think it's going to be a good full moon, even though we're still going to be kind of lingering in those retrograde energies. I think it's going to be a nice full moon. I think there's going to be a lot of positive changes taking place and a lot of forward movement happening around that time. I'm going to be using 4 decks. The first deck I'm going to use is the Enchanted Map Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. Then the deck I'm going to be using for the main spread is the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot. It's a mouthful. I always have to look over and remind myself of what it even means. I've already done a couple of readings tonight, so I'm definitely like in full-on space cadet mode. So if I trip up on my words or seem like I'm staring off into space, that's just how I process information. The clarifiers, I'm going to use the After Tarot, and then final messages being channeled, I'm going to use the Deck of Character. So let's get started and see what's going on for you guys. What is the overall energy here for Cancer for the month of March? What is the overall message and energy here? We have strength, so you could really be pulling yourself through a tough time. I'm going to pull one more. And then we have commitment. Very interesting. We're going to look further into this. Kind of want to pull one more. Because part of me feels like this is a commitment to yourself, but I don't know. Details, and it feels like this has a lot to do with clarity. So you could be getting very clear around what it is that you need to be committing to at this time, and maybe that's taking you a lot of strength to sort through all of those things and really bring them to the forefront of your mind. And really figuring out what it is that you do want. I do feel like you're in the process of creating a new world for yourself, which I do think has taken strength as well, because you might have had to set some boundaries while getting very clear on what it is that you do and don't want in your life. You also might be flip-flopping back and forth through things kind of circling back in and out of your life. It could actually make you feel like you get to this point where you're finally able to bring closure into something only to be taken 2 steps back, which is making you have to, look at some things again. And you might be doing that anyways with the Mercury retrograde happening in Pisces, because it's a very emotional, it's been a very emotional retrograde, especially in terms of depth of thought or memories coming to the surface or feelings. Let me set my timer. I should have done that to begin with. So let's get started. What's happening for Cancer here? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. For the month of March, what's happening for Cancer? That's way too many cards. I guess a lot's happening for you guys. What's happening for Cancer in the month of March, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. There we go. 5 of Pentacles. It's not what I want to see for you guys. I think Aries also had this in their most prominent placement. So if you want to watch the Aries video, that might actually pertain to you as well, where you could be dealing with an Aries, or you have Aries. You could have Aries in your, God, what is it? In your Chiron, which Chiron actually is in Aries right now. Yeah, because I feel like this has to do with issues of self-worth. Most definitely. Okay, so yeah, you can check that out. Go to Cafe Astrology if you don't know where your Chiron is, or you can just Google where is my Chiron and type in your info and figure it out. What is blocking you is the Seven of Pentacles. You could have a really hard time making a decision around certain things. I think too, it's almost like it might be a feeling of like, when am I going to win? Like when am I going to get out of this state? When am I going to stop feeling this way? Yeah, because Queen of Cups is in reverse, so you could be feeling highly emotional right now, possibly even depressed, dealing with shifting a lot of energy for yourself emotionally. You could be heavily nostalgic, which is all a part of us having a retrograde in a water sign, right? But I feel like I almost have to recommend that, like, if you are experiencing depression or if you are feeling feelings of like you're not good enough, I really want you to readdress that, where that comes from and why, because I feel like there could actually be some negative aspects in which you deal with these things. And I kind of feel like you need to get control over that. Because whatever it is, it doesn't seem to be very healthy, or at least as healthy as it could be. What happened in the recent past for Cancer, please? We have the Four of Swords, so you could have taken a time out. There could have been some form of a painful ending, or just something that kind of emotionally sent you off the rails with the Four of Swords being there in the past, because in the Four of Swords, there's three swords usually hanging above him, which comes from the Three of Swords prior. And then there is the Ace of Swords laying underneath him, where he is going to have to take a time out and really spend a lot of time in contemplation, prayer, and meditation in order to figure out or see things clearly and kind of cut through the pain that he's experiencing, he or she. Let's see what's happening in your higher self sector. What's happening in Cancer's higher self sector here? We have the Moon. So yes, you are feeling highly emotional right now. Don't try to escape the way it is that you're feeling. Because with the Moon, I mean, while it is a very beautiful card, it does have such a dreamy element to it. I do feel like part of you is dreaming of the future, but I think what I'm more concerned about is I don't actually see much of anything being done right now in order to like work on that or work towards that. And, you know, yes, sometimes during retrograde periods, we do have to take a step back and we shouldn't really be doing much of anything. It's more about being in contemplation and really thinking about things. But I think with emotionally where you're showing up, the Moon being there does concern me for you. Because I think you keep oscillating between fact and fiction. What's happening in the near future here for Cancer? We have the Three of Pentacles, so you could be working with somebody, or you could just be working, period. We're focusing more on work or working on a project with others. It does kind of look like there's some people brainstorming here, so this definitely could be a group of individuals that you are involved with in some way, trying to create something new that could be a little more stable. Yeah, because the King of Pentacles just fell out. I'm going to take that actually in the near future. You could be really setting up your stability here. I do think you have money on the mind, especially if you are feeling a little financially unstable at this time. Show me Cancer's emotional sector here, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, please. So we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Queen of Wands. And Justice. I think there's a party that either emotionally wants somebody to become single, or you just want somebody to get their shit together. Because the Queen of Wands can be quite a vivacious woman. She has a lot of energy. She has a lot of resources. She has a lot of compassion and kindness and gentleness to her. But she also has this elemental quality of being a naturally born or gifted witch, which just could be for a very select few of you out there. I don't think it's going to apply to everyone. But with all of these being in your emotional sector, it's almost like you're thinking about somebody who is definitely not single. They aren't independent. They could have codependency issues, which does mean that they lean on other people. But at the same time with Justice there, you're wanting something to be, you're wanting a wrong to be made right. You're wanting things to be balanced out fairly, whether that's justice for that person or it's justice within the situation. You just want things, you want truth to reign supreme within the situation or the connection. Or just for yourself. What's happening around Cancer here? What's happening outside of Cancer? We have the King of Wands. That could be connected to the Queen of Wands, so that is a pair we have here right now. We have the Tower. Something sudden and unexpected happening. And we have Strength. So it's interesting that you started with Strength. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, if you're inquiring about somebody who is either taken or in another relationship, I don't think things are going very well with that right now. It's quite possible that that relationship itself is experiencing a Tower moment where, you know, whatever is built on a faulty foundation, things are going to start happening or being pushed into a certain direction where those cracks can no longer be ignored, and it's actually going to be bringing everything down, and whatever survives, survives, and what doesn't gets cast aside, right? I just feel like whatever's happening here in a situation that you either have been connected to or are no longer connected to, stay out of it. Just stay out of it. I think that whatever karmically is going on within this connection is happening for a reason, and you don't need to be a part of that equation. Everybody is going to figure things out on their own terms, on their own time, in the way that they are meant to within that connection. And for you to step into that, I think would be you taking on some level of karma or some level of responsibility that you are not prepared to take on. What's happening in Cancer's hopes and fears here for the month of March, please? We have Six of Cups, so there is reuniting on your mind or reconnecting with somebody from the past, or simply being nostalgic or fearful. I always have a hard time saying that word. You could be fearful of that as well. Because I do think there is a part of you that's trying so desperately to shift your energy here. I think too, it's almost like when you get in this really sad, sunken, depressed energy, your mind goes immediately to this. So there could be codependency issues on both ends. What's happening in the near future here? Or in the outcome and advice for Cancer, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We have the Two of Pentacles. Page of Swords. The Artist. And the Ace of Swords. So truth will reign supreme in this situation. I do think that there's somebody either going to be coming forward with information, so you could hear from a friend of a friend. This also could be this person coming in directly. I'm going to pull some clarifiers here in just a moment. But either way, I think you're going to be pushed into a direction where you can no longer juggle two things, two energies, two ideas, two situations, and you're going to have to drop one of them. And I do think that you will be dropping one of them. Because I think whatever information is going to be coming in for you, it's going to help you put yourself in a position where you can actually sit down and finally start creating the world that you desire. Which did show up in the first card here with strength. It's like this person is going to be creating a world in which they desire, but they're going to have the strength to do so. But I do feel like you're getting clarity, and I do think that things are going to be changing for you. If you are someone who is not involved with another person or even worried about another person, for you right now, I do feel like if there's a situation where you're closely involved with somebody within business, or if it is something in which it's a work situation, I do feel like that whoever you're connected to in the workplace is going through something very, very intense right now in their life. So if you are having issues with this person and you just want things to balance out, they will balance out in the future. I think justice is on your side here at the end of the day. And if I'm going to be perfectly honest, within the workplace, you might actually be leaving wherever you are at work in order to work on some new project that's going to be way better for you. I think you're going to have the ability to find either more stability or actually capitalize off of whatever it is that you're going to be moving towards. Because right now you're not really capitalizing where you're at. So let's move on to some clarifiers here. Clarify the Five of Pentacles here for Cancer. Let's clarify the Five of Pentacles here for Cancer. There we go. We have the Two of Pentacles. So I do think that part of you, look, the issue here is that you're juggling things and you're not fully committing to one thing. And I think that's going to be a greater issue for you. And it might be why, if this is somebody who this reading is resonating for both love and business, it might be why you're having this issue, because you're either not fully committing to both, or it's like one thing is draining you when you really need to be putting your energy towards the other. Let's clarify the Seven of Pentacles here for the block. Yeah, emotionally, you need to let something end. You need to let something go fully. And I think a part of you thinks you already have, but you haven't. Clarify the Queen of Cups in reverse for me, please. We have the Magician. So don't allow your emotions to control you. You need to learn to control your emotions, because I think the interesting thing here for you is that your emotions actually hold quite a bit of power and energy and potential. You can either use your emotions to be creative and actually use them to further what it is that you're doing in your life, or you can use them to destroy yourself. And I think right now it's almost like, which path are you going to pick on that? Also, if you feel as if you're being emotionally manipulated by another person, I would really put that under a hardcore lens. Clarify the Four of Swords for me, please, for the recent past. With the Four of Swords, we have the Eight of Cups and the Five of Swords. So there could have been something you had to walk away from. Something where either your opinions were greatly differing, or it's almost like communication was always a struggle, or it was always a fight. And there was a strong need to step away from that. Clarify the Moon for me, please. Clarify the Moon for Cancer. We have the Seven of Swords. I do feel like you could be experiencing a little bit of self-deception. I also think that there is a part of you that just wishes you knew the truth about everything. And I think that's where you could be feeling a little stuck and a little confused. I really don't want you to fall prey to being stuck in a world of depression and or fantasy at this time. Because I feel like it's preventing you from seeing clearly. I think you will be seeing clearly, but I think right now it's everything's a little muddy for you. I think you're a little trapped. Clarify the Three of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, please. We have the Sun, so there is something very positive here with whatever you're working on project-wise, and the Page of Pentacles. I think that there's going to be an offer of an opportunity coming in soon that is going to help get you to the mode of King of Pentacles. So I do think that there's somebody that's going to be coming in, either investing in what you're doing, or investing in you as a person, or if you're involved in a group project where there's more than one person doing this. Realistically, I see about 3 or 4 people here. There's going to be somebody coming in and investing and enjoying what it is that you do together. And I think it's going to have the potential to really grow into something way bigger than it is right now. But I do think it's going to take some time to get there. And whatever this is kind of what makes you and these other people come alive. When you're together, you can actually see and feel that you love what it is that you do. I almost feel like it's the only time that you're happy. So I would really invest all of your energy into that. Clarify the Nine of Pentacles in reverse for me, please. We have Death in the reverse. Clarify the Queen of Wands. We have the Six of Cups, so that's definitely the person you feel the connection to. And clarify Justice. We have the Devil. Okay, so in terms of codependent energy, nothing in that has changed yet. While I do feel like this person wants to come to you, or you want to go to that person, I still feel like there's either a toxic pattern of behavior that they're stuck in. And I do think they're going to be freed from that. But there still is this level of control that's being exercised. And not in a positive way. If this is you as well, like I'm kind of getting 2 different feels off of this, but it almost feels like it applies to the same situation. I think maybe you need to release your control in the situation as to how you would like a certain outcome to be. I think you might also want to release any feelings of revenge that you might have, because that could be creating a really unhealthy energy field for you. Let's clarify the King of Wands, the Tower, and Strength. I think that whatever is going on in that situation is going to be resolved on its own. I do feel as if, I don't know how many more times they can continue to patch this up, because I feel like this person's running out of ammo, or they're running out of ways in which to fix it. And I feel like that's what the Tower moment's about. Because I feel like somebody's trying to stay strong and like stick through it. But I just don't know how long that's going to last. Let's clarify the Six of Cups here. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So you definitely are thinking about when you and this person are going to reconnect again. Or if you ever will. Ten of Cups, most definitely. You were definitely thinking about that. Let's see what the Two of Pentacles has to say. Let's clarify the Two of Pentacles here. Oh, there it is. King of Pentacles. So yeah, you need to choose what's going to make you the most stable, most secure, and what's going to help you prosper right now. Let's clarify the Page of Swords. We have the Three of Wands. You definitely do have communication coming your way. Let's clarify the Artist. We have Strength and Justice in reverse. So I think it's going to take some time for the situation to sort itself out. In the meantime, you need to be focusing on the world that you're creating and not worry about this, to be perfectly honest, like this 3-ring circus, this soap opera, whatever this drama is over here. Just don't even focus on it. I really don't even want your energy anywhere near it. I don't want you thinking about it, which is easier said than done, I know. But I think the more you start focusing on what's happening here with whatever work it is that you're doing or whatever project or community you're involved in, I think that you're going to see how easy it is for you to shift away from thinking about that. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords. And we have Judgment. So yeah, there's going to be some truth that comes out, or there's going to be some final clarity around a direction that you need to go in. I think it's time for you to not do things that you've done in the past, and I think it's time to take a new direction and allow some closure to happen in your life. In more ways than one. I don't think it just has to do with this situation. I think it has to do with a lot of things. I really encourage you to find out where your Chiron is or where your deepest wound is, because I think this is what this is talking about. I really want you to look closer at where your deepest issue is or where you keep getting hung up, because it's really affecting your ability to be stable, not only in a relationship, but in your own life. There's always something that's kind of pinching at you, you know, in the dark. Like there's always something that's getting to you or getting under your skin. And I think it really affects your ability to create the type of stability that it is that you seek or dream of. So please, I encourage you to look at your Chiron. What are the final messages here for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? So we have jail cell, mother, and weirdo, which I kind of love. I think you need to nurture your weird side, and I think you need to set yourself free with wings on the bottom of the deck. I think you've kept yourself imprisoned in either a certain thought pattern or behavior for a really long time, or in certain types of relationships where you're often the nurturer instead of the one being nurtured. And I really think it's time for you to claim what it is that you love to do authentically. I think it's time to step more into that energy and to continue doing that, because that's where your prosperity lies. So just try to move through this the best that you can this month. Focus on what it is that's going to really, you know, help you break the bank personally in your own life. Whatever it is that you feel passionate about, whatever this job is, this project is, I really want you putting all of your energy into that, because whatever the drama is that's happening around you or how it's somehow still connected to you because of where your thought pattern is, you need to let that go. And I think the more that you focus on what it is that you love instead of what it is that you like love and hate, I think it's going to put you in a better position. All right, Cancer, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. It's important as I'm building this page for people to do that. Or just interact and engage in the comments. You know, let me know how you liked it. Let me know if it resonated. If it didn't, that's totally fine. If you would like a personal video or a personal reading or a personal recorded video of a reading, my description box has all of the details. I'm already like getting caught up in stupid shit. Everything is in the description box below. There's a link for donations. There is my Instagram as well as my email for you to contact me. So everything's all there. You can take a look at it, and I will see you guys next time.